All right, so here is the battlefield that we'll be playing on. We're going to be using ITC Championship Mission 2, and we'll be going over the rules here for that. But this is going to be the table we are setting up. I think we're going to be playing Hammer and Anvil. All right, so going over to the Harlequin list here. We've ran this a few times. It's essentially just 2,000 points of Harlequins, which is pretty much everything I own. So in this case, we have 3 units of 5 of our troops with a troop master, all riding in a Skyweaver. All of the troops have the Harlequin Kiss, which is pretty deadly. We also have 2 Void Weavers filling out our heavy slot, and then we have another unit of troops just running on their feet. And then we have 3 units of Death Jesters. We've got the Solitaire, which is the Warlord, and we've got 2 units of Skyweavers, 6 in each of the units. They're all just running the Shuriken cannons. So there we go. That is going to be 2,000 points of Harlequins. All right, and we're running the new Necrons here, checking out their new codex, and this is about 2,000 points. I think technically both these lists are around 1,999, so we're missing a point from each, so fair across the board, except poor Harlequins don't have a codex yet. So anyways, we're running tons of troops. I think the troops look like a great option here. So we have 5 units of about 15 Necron warriors, and then another unit that has about 18 in it. So running lots of Necron warriors. I should say this is 2 battalions, so we're gonna have 9 command points. Running the Sutek dynasty, I don't know how you say it, but it gives them some pretty cool traits as far as having assault weapons, and the Warlord gets to bring back command points, so that could be pretty cool. We have 2 Overlords, both are gonna be running the Resurrection Orb, and then we have 2 Cryptex, and one of them has the Veil of Darkness, and the other one has the Cloak applied to him. We have 1 unit of 5 Destroyers, and then we have a sweet Cetan over there, the Bringer of Death, or whatever his name is, and we're gonna be trying him out as well. So that's about 2,000 points of Necrons. All right, so we got the objectives on the table. Again, we're doing Hammer and Anvil, and this is, what was it? Straight to the Heart? Is that the mission for number 2?
Shot through the heart.
Shot through the heart? That sounds about right. So anyways, we got 3 objectives on the table, and the Harlequins, they place 1 6 inches from their board edge, right there on the corner. And then we have 1 in the middle, which is going to be right here, dead center in the middle. And then we have 1 in the Necron's deployment zone as well. And so the purpose of this game, or the primary, I guess, is going to be at the end of the game, you have to hold down that objective, the middle one, as well as your opponent's objective, to gain an extra point. And then this is... It's not going to happen. We'll see. But I guess the main objectives here, of course, is the standard ITC Championship missions, which is the kill more around, hold more objectives around, and then as far as what we took each individually for the secondaries, the Necrons took... Recon, which is holding down 4 quarters of the table, and then they also took Reaping, which is killing characters. Harlequin's got a ton of characters, so hopefully we should get some of those. And then they took Behind Enemy Lines, and that was, I debated on that versus old school, hoping with the Veil of Darkness and the Destroyers might be able to get some points from Behind Enemy Lines.
The character one is Headhunter.
Oh.
Reaping is the 10-man squads.
That's right. So anyway, sorry, Necrons took Headhunter, not Reaping. So Reaping, Harlequins took Reaping because clearly the Necrons have a lot of 10-man units, and so they took Reaping, Old School, and Recon. So that's going to be the objectives, secondaries for the Harlequins. So we're going to go ahead and roll to see who gets to go first. All right, so we're all set up here. We got our Necrons hanging out on this back end of the table edge. Got everything on the board. Pretty much everyone's up to the line there. We have our 1 unit of 18 Necron warriors just kind of hanging back a little bit. We've got our Harlequins over here. Again, everything pretty much on the board. He does have his Solitaire and 1 unit of troops that are going to be coming from the web. So who knows where they're going to... Who knows where they're going to be dropping in. But anyways, so the Harlequins, they rolled to go first, and I set up first with the Necrons. And anyways, they rolled to seize. They failed. They wanted me to go first, and I am now going first. So anyways, Necrons turn 1. All right, so Necrons in first turn, and Hammer and Anvil's kind of brutal for them right now because they're just having a foot slog over the table. And anyways, as you can see, everything just kind of moved up. I actually advanced everything. Most of them got a roll of 6, so they were at least able to get up pretty far. So hopefully next turn they'll be able to get some shooting off on the Harlequins. I'm sure the Harlequins here are just dying to kind of put some shots into all those warriors there, almost 100 of them. I did take a risk, ended up using the Veil of Darkness to put some shots into those Skyweavers over there. Ended up killing one Skyweaver and putting a wound on another one. The Necrons were able to rapid fire, so put 36 shots into them. But with those 4-up invuls, you know, they saved a lot of them, and it just wasn't quite as effective as I was hoping. Gonna end this turn with 1 point at this point because I'm, well, yeah, it's gonna be the end of the turn, so I'll be holding an objective. We'll see if I'm able to continue holding more, but was not able to kill anything and not able to get any of my tertiary points. So got an uphill battle at this point, but we'll see what the Harlequins do in their turn.
Harlequins turn 1. They pretty much moved, I mean, without a whole lot of thought, just moved straight up towards the Necrons. We decided to really focus in on the Destroyer squad with pretty much all the firepower. Did end up wiping them out, so that was worth it because that gets us our first strike for old school tertiary. The bikes moved up on a squad of warriors on the top side of the table there. They shot them up, they advanced, they charged, they killed a few. They lost almost more to their morale check than they did in the fight.
Yeah.
And then we used the Secrets of the Dark Web, that's what it's called. It's a deep strike into the backfield to try to attack that squad of warriors that's holding down the objective in the back. One unit of troops did manage to assault. There was small amounts of damage traded off there, and the Solitaire dropped back in there thinking he was going to do the same thing, but failed his charge. So we ended up scoring recon for having a unit, at least one unit in each quarter of the table. Got that first strike, and then I think we're holding our objective and killed more units. So a good first turn. I know that they're just sitting got their chin hanging out, waiting to get punched back right now. So we'll see how turn 2 goes.
It's true, yeah. This was definitely a turn Necrons had to kind of just withstand because they didn't get the first shot off, and they just needed to hit the middle of the table. And Harlequins, I mean, there's a reason they refer to them as like glass hammers. They come out and they want to take out a unit, and they did. But we'll see. We're going to do reanimation protocols. We got some Cryptex too to kind of benefit from that, to help it out a little bit, see if we can get some of these Necron models back. And we got these Death Jesters sitting up on this building here, and those are each characters. So if I can take those 3 out, that could be 3 points right there for the Necrons. He meant to hide those. I'm not supposed to see those yet. But anyways, so we'll move on to Necron's turn 2. All right, so we're at the end of turn 2 for the Necrons, and definitely a lot more happened. They definitely got some points scored. They had some bad rolling on the will be back rolls, and I even gave them like the stratagem to reroll 1s, and some of them were near Cryptex, so they were getting it on 4-up. But probably out of like the something close to 15 that died the turn before, I think maybe 4 or so came back. So not a ton, but we did get a lot of shooting off, as you can see here. I did take out a Starweaver as well as pretty much the troop unit that was inside. I killed one of the Death Jesters out here. I put a ton of mortal wounds on everything up front. I have to say the C-Tan, since I played Necrons back in 5th, seem much improved. The powers are pretty awesome. He came up and did that flame power, essentially putting mortal wounds on anyone within 9 inches of him, any enemy units, and he went supernova and put about 2 to 3 mortal wounds on just about all these units here, which was pretty awesome. He also did the like random power stratagem And that also put a few wounds on, I think it was maybe a Star Weaver over there, or maybe it was this one. But anyways, so everything just kind of consolidated onto this objective here, the middle one. This is about like 6 different units over here. We did the assault. Necrons, I mean, we're just kind of stuck there. We're not really doing much wounds to the Harlequins over there. This assault did finish up here. They were able to kill the rest of the Necrons, just those 4 little Harlequins there. But anyways, took them out. So we're going to move on to Harlequin's turn 2, but as of right now, I did get recon. I am in the quarters of the board. I did get Headhunter with killing one of the Death Jesters and holding an objective and killing a unit. So I've got like 4 or 5 points as of right now, and we'll see at the end of the, or top of the turn, if I've killed more. I've killed 3 this turn. He's already killed 1, so we'll see where it goes. Harlequins, turn 2. So they are still in the midst of the Necrons. They charged up. These Skyweavers over here had backed out because, of course, they're flying, so they shot back into the Necron warriors that are over there, killed out that entire unit, and put some wounds on the Cryptek that was over there. A lot of the units over here for the Harlequins shot into these warriors. They ended up taking a couple models out in a few of these units. Really, a lot of it went down into this unit here, which was a 15-man unit of Necron warriors. These Skyweavers shot in, charged them. The Solitaire charged in, put a ton of wounds in there. I think they lost about 10 models total. And then the Necron Overlord actually had charged the, heroically intervened on the Solitaire there, was able to do 1 wound. Also over here, the Harlequin troops charged in at the Cetan, and man, that Harlequin Kiss is definitely perfect for taking out a big monstrous creature like that. They were able to deal out a ton of wounds and took out poor old Nightbringer. And I tried to get him to explode, but he just couldn't roll that 4 up for the life of him, and so he just disappeared into the night. So as far as points go, the Harlequins actually are technically holding more. We killed the same. We each killed 3 units, so no one got that one, but he did get recon as well, and he has 2 Reaper points because he killed 2 big old 15-man units of Necrons. So we're gonna move on to Necrons turn 3. Currently the Harlequins are outpointing the Necrons, but I think if the Necrons can get some good will be back rolls and maybe start killing some of their units, we might see the tides turn. We'll see. All right, so we're at the end of Necron's turn 3, and they're kind of slowly falling behind. I am getting some points here. I killed all the Death Jesters up there, so that's 2 more Headhunter points. But he did eke out my Cryptek over there, put a couple wounds on that that Troop Master. Had these units come up, they shot into that unit of troops that killed the Cetan, killed all the troops, and put 3 wounds on the Troop Master, but he is locked in combat with them right now. We have ongoing combat over here, and boy, these Necron warriors are just hanging on by the skin of their teeth. I'm sure they'll be dead this turn. And then I have the Overlord and Cryptek over there in fighting with the Solitaire, not able to put any wounds on him. So anyways, the Necrons were able to get recon. They were able to get a couple Headhunter. They did kill 3 units, and they're holding them to an objective. But as of right now, the Harlequins are kind of eking out on being able to hold more and in just getting better of their tertiary. So it's actually, as far as points go, kind of close. I mean, it looks closer on paper than I think what it is feeling like, but as of right now, unless the Necrons can really turn it around, they're probably going to just get an eked out loss. But we'll see. We're going to move to turn 3 Harlequins. All right, so we're at the end of turn 3 here for the Harlequins. We're actually going to call it here because, as you can see, they've come close to actually tabling the Necrons at this point, and the points, they're too far ahead, and there's no way that even in 3 more rounds that the Necrons would be able to outpoint them. But as of right now, the Harlequins have 9 on their primary, 9 on their tertiary, and the Necrons have 6 in the primary and 6 in the tertiary. So points wise, we're just kind of falling behind, and then just through attrition here, there's just not enough to getting more points. I definitely made some errors. I should not have picked behind enemy lines. I thought with the Veil of Darkness that I could drop into the you know, back there and actually pick up some points across the turns. But it was just dumb. I mean, the Harlequins, their shooting is just better than the Necrons, and was not able to save it. So there, I mean, even though I have some pretty good will be back enhancements to get Necrons back on the board, wasn't enough. They were taking out units too quickly and just died off real quick. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it definitely was different than I thought it would go, and really just kind of everything got gummed up in the middle there. And being that I was able to, I kind of got lucky and had a couple of good choices on the secondary or the tertiary objectives. And once I started pulling ahead on those and got the Necrons sort of bogged down in the close combat, now they don't have the mobility to catch up. So, yeah, it worked out pretty well. Worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah.
Shooting was strong. They're kind of weird. They're really a finesse army for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. I obviously play Harlequins quite a bit. This is my Harlequin army. So it's like bittersweet. I lost, but my Harlequins actually won a game. They usually kind of what happens when I play them is the first couple turns I kind of crush someone. Like I get a lot of points or something, and then just through attrition, because they're sort of that glass jaw, someone will come back and, you know, wipe out like my unit of Skyweavers, and then I'm just kind of on my back foot the rest of the game until I lose. And in this case, the Necrons just didn't quite have that. They just couldn't quite push them back. And in fact, actually, as you were saying, like when they got tied down in close combat, you know, you had the advantage of being able to jump out and shoot them and jump back in to tie them back up. And so that was
and honestly, the Harlequins were not particularly good at close combat. It was just once we were ahead in the secondaries, it didn't really matter anymore that we weren't winning all of the close combats. We were just keeping you from getting objectives.
Exactly, yeah. And so they got stuck in the middle of the board, and that was it. I will say, you know, MVP, the C-Tan, I wish he could have lasted a little longer, because, man, like, he walked out middle of the board and just immediately, I mean, he took most of your models down to half wounds in just one turn. But he didn't get a second chance to do it, because I'm sure after that happened, you're like, he's got to die.
You know what? And that was actually a really effective strategy against the Necrons was, and because the Harlequins are so mobile, I just really focused fire on one thing at a time. Turn one, boom, everything on the destroyers.
Yeah.
You know, we focus on one group of warriors, focused everything on the C-Tan, just making sure something was not gonna lobby back you.
Exactly. Yeah, that was definitely a good strategy. Just wiping out something entirely, or at least taking down a Necron unit to such small levels that even the will be back didn't matter. Like, they were just coming back too slow to actually make it worthwhile. And I was doing the stratagems, re-rolling the ones, using the stratagem to like do it again, and it just didn't do anything. I mean, at most, I think I brought back 5 one turn, and that's out of
very unlucky.
Yeah, there were some pretty poor rolls too. Classic move by myself, but yeah, it was a good game. I look forward to trying out the Necrons more. I need to use maybe more of their vehicles, some of their like arcs and all that kind of stuff to give them a little more mobility, and probably pick better tertiaries as well. I picked the Headhunter was definitely a good one this game. I almost maxed that one out pretty quickly, but like I said, the behind enemy lines just did not work out, and there just was not enough mobility in a game like this where we're trying to pop on objectives. Also, leaving only one unit back here and letting him do that webway portal, come back, wipe out that unit, and I had nothing really to go back and try to save them. So yeah, it was a good game, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, well, see you at the next one.
Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please feel free to hit the like button below. And if you want to check out more Wolfpack Wargaming videos, please hit the subscribe.